Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's WWE Friday Night Smackdown for March 1st, 2013. Social Media Smackdown on a taped show. What's the point of this? Oh man, this added nothing to the show. It was still an average Smackdown. There was a few good things on the show. I liked the Miz-Cesaro match. I thought the ending was pretty good. I thought Big Show looked badass. But other than that, average show. Social media didn't add anything to it, and it doesn't work on a taped show. So it's Lawler, Cole, and Matthews on commentary. JBL's climbing a mountain somewhere, and Del Rio versus Damian Sandow starts the show. Sandow taps to the arm breaker, but at least he put up a fight. The fans can choose Del Rio's opponent for next week's SmackDown. I guess what they did is Cole and Lawler, after the taped episode, they added the audio in. Maybe they read the results live, and then when they found out who won the poll, they put the audio into the show. I have no idea how they did this shit, honestly. Because it was taped and they obviously had to edit the show for TV, I don't know. Who cares? It's probably rigged anyway. But Daniel Bryan thinks Kane won the match on Raw because he wasn't blindfolded. So tonight Kane's going to wear the bag on his head and Daniel Bryan's going to have one arm tied. I forgot to write this down, so I'm going to go ahead and say it while I remember. There was a short little video of Chris Jericho from Australia. He was just hyping the robot show, saying he can't wait to come back to WWE. That was it. Miz versus Cesaro for the U.S. title. 2 out of 3 falls. This was pretty good. I actually watched Miz on Conan O'Brien, and he was great. He actually made Conan laugh pretty hard. But Cesaro gets the first fall with the neutralizer. Miz gets the second fall by making Cesaro tap to the figure 4 during commercial. And Miz gets him in another figure 4, but Cesaro gets the ropes. Cesaro rolls up Miz, holds the tights for the winning fall. Sheamus offers to watch Orton's back during his match with Big Show. Orton says thanks. And JR comes out to interview Swagger and Zeb Coulter. And Zeb speaks for Swagger. He says Del Rio needs to leave the country. JR looks at Swagger and says, "Good God, man, what happened to you?" And JR tells Zeb to be silent. Swagger slaps his hat off and gets in his face. Del Rio runs out, calls Swagger a jackass, and Swagger and Zeb leave. Daniel Bryan and Kane versus the Primetime Players. Daniel Bryan puts a goat face bag on Kane. Kane clotheslines or choke slams Darren Young, but he can't find him for the cover. Daniel Bryan tags himself in, and Kane tries to choke slam Daniel Bryan in the ref, but he stops himself, and Titus O'Neil rolls up Daniel Bryan for the win. Afterwards, Kane sees the goat face bag, puts it on Daniel Bryan, and punches him. So I definitely feel like they're building up to a Mania match with these two. Some of the stuff was pretty funny, but I wouldn't say it was a great segment at all. Big Show tells Matt Striker he will chokeslam Orton tonight, and then Striker talks to Fandango, who's supposed to premiere tonight. And Fandango keeps trying to tell him how to say his name. Oh man, this is going to be a tough gimmick to pull off here. I'm not saying he can't do it. I think he could still be a decent mid-card heel. But man, does this guy have his work cut out for him. It's just the whole thing takes so long. He just keeps saying it, Fandango. But he drags it out. And it's really annoying. So I was actually thinking, okay, the first time he said it, I was like, that's kind of funny, you know, he could be a good heel, and then he kept going on and on about his name. And then he says he's not going to debut until Stryker can say his name properly. It was pretty bad. Del Rio's opponent for next week is Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler won the poll. He beat Wade Barrett and Cesaro. Randy Orton versus the Big Show. Orton hits the drop DDT on Big Show and the Shield comes out. Sheamus runs down and they all start fighting. Roman Reigns bumps into Big Show. Big Show knocks him out, which I thought was really awesome. And the Shield sees this. They pick up Roman Reigns and they take off. And then Big Show chokeslams Randy Orton just to make sure everybody knows he's still a heel. And then Sheamus Bro kicks Big Show in the face. And that's how the show ended. So I kind of liked the ending, I have to say. Miz Cesaro was alright. But everything else, I guess Del Rio, Damien Sandow wasn't too bad either. But it was still just an average show, and they have this social media stuff going the entire time. They keep trying to hype it up. Wow, here's some tweets at the bottom of the screen. You're really going to promote a show saying it's the social media show when you're just doing the same stuff you always do, touts and tweets? You always do this crap. What was different? And they did the same thing. The fans get to vote for a match, except it's a taped show. There was just no point to this. Why does WWE do this stuff? I have no idea why they do these things. It makes no sense to me. But I am curious to see what the rating is for this show, just to see if it increased it at all. If anybody cared, if anybody tuned in because of this. And even if they did, they got a lackluster show. So even if they get new people to watch, there was no Ryback. There was no Mark Henry. So it was still just lackluster. They're not going to tune back in. So what was the purpose? But anyways, yeah, that's my review of this week's SmackDown. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.